everyone, welcome to HMR Waterfront Presents Game On है मैं हूँ रोहा नदीम. We are back with our pre-match show. As always, a lot to go through today in this ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024. हम Super 8s में आ चुके हैं and we have seen what these teams are capable of. Match after match, convincing performances, especially more from the more established teams, the more veteran teams. But दूसरी साइड पे अगर आप देखें द वीकर टीम्स, वीकर तो अब हम नहीं कह सकते किसी टीम को भी इन द T20 फॉर्मेट, बट दोज दैट हैव कम फ्रॉम लेसर एक्सपीरियंस इनटू दिस सुपर 8 स्टेज, दे हैव आल्सो बीन पुटिंग अप अ फाइट इन दिस वर्ल्ड कप. सो आज भी अर्लियर टुडे जो मैच हुआ बिटवीन ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड बांग्लादेश, we will of course take a look at that as well. Who were the star players for the Australians? And of course we will build up to the next all important match today between England and South Africa. So lots in store for you like every day, including a lot of prizes to win thanks to our wonderful sponsors. So before we get towards unpacking all of that, I've got with me my beautiful co-host all the way from Australia, who is once again a very happy Aussie today because they've won again, Erin Holland. Looking great as usual, but that smile, I can tell, you know, being an Aussie fan, you rarely have bad days. How are you feeling this morning?
Well, bahut shukriya for the lovely introduction as always. And yeah, what a fabulous morning, Pakistan time for Australia. Of course, they did manage to get across Bangladesh quite emphatically, it has to be said. The rain did come to spoil the party a little bit in Antigua at North Sound, but the Aussies, the way that they broke the back of that run chase really early. David Warner back in the runs again, sensational up the top of the order. Travis Head doing what Travis Head does. I think 28 runs ahead by DLS it turned out when the rain finally came to spoil the play for the rest of the day. But Aussies led from the front with the ball as well. 140 on what looked like pretty decent conditions, was not massive scoreboard pressure. And Aussies with their big team energy, as I'm calling it, they came to play once again, and they're looking really, really strong. And it's getting oh so close. I can touch the trophy.
Of course you can. Can it be 3 trophies, 3 silverware across 3 formats for Australia? We'll find out in just a matter of days now. We're of course we're inching towards that last leg of this World Cup. So let's kickstart this show and of course unpack what the Aussies did and what the Bangladesh team couldn't do right in this match. And of course then we'll start our build up as well. हमारे पास हमारे बहुत favorite जो panelists हैं Game On है के who have been, you know, giving us their insights and analysis throughout this World Cup. Our very own Kaptan, who is in his best moods today because आज जो है it's the anniversary of Pakistan winning that glorious World Cup in 2009, thanks to this man on your screens, Yunus Khan.
Thank you.
Welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you. कैसा feel कर रहे हैं आप, especially looking back at all of that, with the flashbacks, reflections, trophy winning celebrations, पूरा मुल्क सड़कों पर रात को निकला हुआ था, and वो scenes भुलाना किसी भी पाकिस्तानी fans के लिए impossible है. How do you feel looking back on this day?
मेरे लिए प्राउड मोमेंट्स हैं कि पाकिस्तान T20 का वर्ल्ड कप 2009 में जब मोस्ट हमें चाहिए था उस वक्त हम जीते. और जैसे मैं कहता हूँ कि हमेशा टीम एफर्ट थी, सब ने टाइम पे परफॉर्म किया और हमने ठीक है स्टार्ट थोड़ा सा मुश्किल में लिया, लेकिन हमने बड़ा ज़बरदस्त फिनिश किया. मेरे ख्याल से ऐसी विन मैंने तो नहीं देखी फाइनल्स में कि जिस तरह हमने बड़े आराम से उसको चेज़ किया. तो बड़ा प्राउड मोमेंट है मेरे लिए और उसको मैं एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकता हूँ क्योंकि वर्ल्ड कप जीता अपने मुल्क के लिए, इससे प्राउड मोमेंट नहीं हो सकते.
हमारे लिए भी एज क्रिकेट फैंस इससे ज़्यादा प्राउड मोमेंट कोई नहीं था. थैंक यू सो मच वंस अगेन ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ ऑल पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट फैंस फॉर मेकिंग दैट ड्रीम कम ट्रू फॉर अस, स्पेशली 2007 के बाद जो हम एक जिसे कहते हैं एक पेनफुल मेमोरी रही फॉर लॉट ऑफ फैंस. बट स्पीकिंग ऑफ memories and speaking of glories across formats, we have Mohammad Hafiz, the professor, joining us once again. Professor, welcome back. What will you say reflecting back on the memories from that World Cup?
जी बहुत ज़्यादा खुशी. पहले तो यूनुस भाई आपको आपके हम्बल एटीट्यूड को जो हमेशा मैंने देखा है कि ये वाहिद कप्तान है जो जीतने के बाद दूसरों को क्रेडिट देता है.
बिल्कुल.
तो इसकी इनकी कंट्रीब्यूशन बहुत शानदार है और मैं आपकी और आपकी सारी टीम को दिल की गहराइयों से हमारी टीम है पाकिस्तान की टीम है, दिल की गहराइयों से बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद. और आपकी ये जो एफर्ट है इसको हमेशा याद रखा जाए इंशाल्लाह. और मैं एक प्राउड पाकिस्तानी होने के नाते मैं समझता हूँ कि इस तरह के इवेंट्स को जीतना, आईसीसी इवेंट्स को जीत के वो जो इंस्पिरेशन ऐड करते हैं. देखें आप जीतते हैं ना, आपको आइडिया नहीं होता कि आईसीसी इवेंट की जो इंस्पिरेशन है वो कहाँ तक जाती है और वो कैसे लीड अप करती है. क्योंकि आई रिमेंबर माई अर्ली डेज ऑफ क्रिकेट 92 के वर्ल्ड कप जीतने के बाद एक शौक पैदा हुआ टू प्ले क्रिकेट। फिर उसके बाद एक शौक पैदा हुआ वॉचिंग ऑल दिस ग्रेट्स ऑफ द गेम कि हम लोग क्रिकेट इंटरनेशनली या प्रोफेशनली खेलना शुरू करें। तो मुझे लगता है कि यूनुस भाई की ये जो कामयाबी है अलॉन्ग विद ऑल द टीममेट्स, ये जो आईसीसी इवेंट 2009 में जीता, जो इन्होंने अभी सिग्निफिकेंट उसकी एक चीज़ ऐड की जो ये पूरा नहीं कर सके कि उस वक्त पाकिस्तान एक मुश्किल हालात में फंस चुका हुआ था। श्रीलंका के अटैक के बाद काफ़ी मुश्किलात थी हमारे लिए, वहाँ पे इस तरह की कामयाबी हासिल करके एक पॉजिटिव स्टेटमेंट देना पूरी दुनिया के अंदर, हैट्स ऑफ टू यू एंड ऑल द टीममेट्स और जो भी लोग वहाँ पे मौजूद थे। आई टोटली अंडरस्टैंड, बड़ा मुश्किल हुआ होगा आप लोगों के लिए, बट मैं समझता हूँ कि एक मोस्ट प्राउडेस्ट मोमेंट में जो आपकी क्रिकेट हिस्ट्री के अंदर कोई चीज़ आएगी तो 2009 का वर्ल्ड कप जो है वो आएगा।
And speaking of that glorious moment, you know, because we are looking back at that glorious World Cup win for Pakistan, let's take a little look back, go back into the memory lane, relive that glorious day that Pakistan won the 2009 T20 World Cup for the first time and the only time in their history. What a beautiful image that was, Erin, if you look back as... Take a look.
Oh, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Oh, full toss. It might be a no ball, but it's four. Afridi fittingly hits the winning run. Shahid Afridi. Big man, big game. It's a leg by. Who cares? Handshakes all round. It's been a wonderful tournament. A fantastic tournament. And it's Pakistan. And yes, you might say fittingly win this 2020 World Cup.
Absolute scenes at Lord's, that 2009 T20 World Cup victory to Pakistan. Its 15th year anniversary today. But gentlemen, I'm sure it feels like just yesterday. Yunus, like the elation and the excitement on your face. I'm sure those memories aren't too hard and too far away to tap back into what was going through your mind when Boom Boom hit the final runs and that dream that you've been working towards for so many years became a reality and you got to hold that World Cup.
And I think it was start from the last game in 2007 World Cup finals. And after that we were down and we know that we were very close to win that trophy for first time for Pakistan. And then I realized that if I have a chance to become a captain of Pakistan, so I'll not do that mistakes. So from that moment, I start my planning. What kind of team we should need, what kind of players should be in the teams, and what kind of energy and body language we have to be in in the next World Cup. But luckily I was become a captain before that World Cup. And then all the planning, all the strategies, all the the gathering and the planning was there. So I think it was start in 2007 after that World Cup finals.
Hey, teams are not just built overnight. Strategies to win World Cups don't just come a couple of weeks prior to a tournament starting. Hafiz, you were obviously a part of that big win as well. And
I wasn't. I missed that one.
Oh, you missed the one, but you're part of the...
He was a part of the champion trophy.
Part of the spirit.
Yeah, he was a part of that champion trophy.
Yeah, you're part of the chapter. Yeah. You're part of the what went towards the win. I just, from your perspective, when you see what was so successful in that 2009 campaign and we look at where we're at the moment, what are the biggest takeaways of what was successful back then? Can the new side try to take in order to be competitive again on the world stage? All of the facets are there for Pakistan cricket. What can we get to click?
Well, as Yunus mentioned, the planning started after that game we lost in the final against India. So the mindset was if the next time we will get into that stage, how we will manage that pressure that time and how we can cross that line. I think as a man, as a pure leader, he managed things very well on that tour. He picked the right human resource along with him where he can deliver for the best result for the Pakistan cricket. And then everyone got together and work as a team. And I think that given a great understanding to each other, like how everyone can chip in, how everyone can add his own value in his own role to win this win this trophy. So I think as a team, they all were sure about their roles, and as a Pakistani, we were feeling so proud on the progress they were making on that particular tournament. because each and every game they were playing like a champion. So I think they deserve to win that tournament, the way they were fighting hard on that tour. And as a fan of cricket, as one of the youngsters who could be a part of that team, I couldn't make it. I was one of the reserve player that time, but I couldn't make on tour. But I was so proud on that. Like, you know, my whole teammates basically done it for Pakistan. So basically the success they had, it's not only reflect their performances, obviously as a country we all proud of it.
And you know, whenever we look back at Pakistan's wins across history, and especially even in this World Cup, we always remember that spell by Umar Gul or just the fast bowlers making that impact. Mohammad Amir was new to that World Cup stage and he took that opportunity and delivered beyond everybody's imaginations. And then Sohail Tanveer was in and out of the 11, but he was still part of that squad. But what a spin attack we had in that team. The part-timers were also doing their best. Shahid Afridi, Shoaib Malik, and then Saeed Ajmal. A complete team, an all-round team, and all the all-rounders were delivering in each department, whether it was with the bat, whether it was with the ball. As a captain, how incredible was that to have that kind of support, not just from the specialist bowlers and batters, but also from somebody like Boom Boom Afridi and Shoaib Malik, who were there till the end and who ensured that they finished the game off.
देखिए रोहा, मैं थोड़ी सी डिटेल में बात करूंगा. देखें, उस वक्त कंडीशन इतनी आसान नहीं थी हमारे लिए. अगर मुझे याद है कि 2007 के वर्ल्ड कप के बाद जो हुआ वो हमने ऑलरेडी मेंशन कर दिया. उसके बाद फिर हफीज़ भी उसी जर्नी का हिस्सा रहे हैं और फिर बहुत कुछ हुआ. कैप्टनसी चेंज हुई, बॉब वर्मर का ना होना, वो नहीं रहे, ये बहुत कुछ चल रहा था उस वक्त. और फिर जिस तरह एक सीरीज़ में शोएब मलिक को कैप्टनसी से हटा दिया गया और मुझे दोबारा ऑफ़र किया. उससे पहले मैं रिफ्यूज़ कर चुका था, फिर मुझे दोबारा ऑफ़र किया. तो जब मैं आया तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स थे प्लेयर्स में भी, कैप्टनसी को भी लेके. लेकिन ये था कि मेरे लिए मैंने कैसे उनको इकट्ठा किया कि मैंने एक उनसे सबसे बात की कि देखिए ये टीम के लिए है. इस वक्त कैप्टन होना ना होना, कोई खेल रहा है नहीं खेल रहा है, कौन सी पोजीशन होनी चाहिए. तो जो मेरा पहले दिन मैसेज था कि भाई आप हम सब ने पाकिस्तान के लिए खेलना है. जब ज़रूरत पड़ेगी तो मैं आगे जाऊंगा, जब ज़रूरत पड़ेगी तो आपको चांस मिलेगा. तो हर प्लेयर जो है वो अपने अपने मौके का इंतज़ार करे, जहां मौका मिले तो अपना बेस्ट शॉट खेल लें. और अगर जब हमने प्रोग्रेस किया, आपने देखा होगा कि शोएब मलिक कैप्टनसी हटे, कह रहे थे कि शायद टीम में हो ना हो. उसके बाद शाहिद का अपनी फॉर्म नहीं थी बिल्कुल, उनका भी यही था कि टीम में जाएंगे कि नहीं जाएंगे. तो बहुत सारी जो है प्लेयर्स को इतनी ज़्यादा सिक्योरिटीज़ नहीं थी. लेकिन जब मैं कैप्टन बना तो मैंने श्योर किया सब प्लेयर से कि देखिए जो बात मैं आपके सामने कर रहा हूँ वही बंद कमरों में होगी और चेयरमैन के साथ और सिलेक्टर्स के साथ भी वही बात हुई. और फिर एग्जैक्टली वही. और मैंने सिर्फ ये क्लियर मैसेज दिया कि मैं आपको सपोर्ट करता हूँ, आप मुझे सपोर्ट करें और हम मिल के हम जो है ना टीम को सपोर्ट करेंगे. और एग्जैक्टली वैसे हुआ. शुरुआत हमारी अच्छी नहीं हुई. पहला मैच बहुत बुरी तरीके से वार्म अप गेम हार गए साउथ अफ्रीका के खिलाफ, फिर इंडिया के खिलाफ बहुत हार गए. लेकिन जो प्लानिंग थी मेरे पास वो मौजूद थी. मुझे याद है कि बारहा उस मोहम्मद आमिर ने मेंशन भी किया हुआ कि जो साइड गेम था अगेंस्ट इंडिया, तो 13 साइड गेम होता है. तो उसमें क्या हुआ कि मैंने अपने कोच से कहा कि मुझे आमिर को भी खिलाने हैं मैच. तो मुझे कोच ने कहा कि शायद खेले नहीं खेले. मैंने कहा अगर खेल गया तो अच्छा होगा. ये अगर ये प्रेशर गेम में अगेंस्ट इंडिया ये खेल जाएंगे तो आगे जाके कहीं ये खेलेंगे तो खेलना तो है इनको. तो इनको अगर मौका मिलेगा तो ये पहले से प्रिपेयर. तो आपको इतना पहले प्रिपेयर होना है. अभी आप वार्म अप गेम खेल रहे हो और वो फिर फाइनल में जिस तरह उन्होंने बॉलिंग की, वो पूरे 10, 12, 15 दिनों के बाद उन्होंने बॉलिंग की. लेकिन देखिए एज अ लीडर आपको होना है. और फिर देखिए फिर शोएब मलिक को जहां मौका मिलता था मैं उनको प्रमोट करता था. जहां मुझे मेरी जरूरत पड़ती थी.
फाइनल वाले मैच में भी शाहिद अफरीदी came one down and he was there till the end. And your visuals I still remember you had padded up and you were just sitting, you were waiting at any moment.
I was ready. If there is any collapse, I can go and bat for my team.
Instead you ran.
My thinking was like that. If team needs me and if team is in trouble, so I can go and bat at that time.
What brilliant captaincy, Yunus Khan, and as always being very modest about how he went down, winning that World Cup for Pakistan. Let's come back to 2024 now. Erin, looks like Australia are well on their course for another World Cup win, so good for you. But let's take a look at the match summary and see what happened earlier today. Early hours of the day, it was a rain-affected match, and Bangladesh put up 140 on the board. Their batters chipping in 41 for Shanto, the captain. Tawheed with another 40 off 28 balls, and of course Liton Das with 16 as well. Taskeen with 30 not out. A brilliant job by the Australian bowlers to restrict Bangladesh to that score on a wicket that looked like it was good for batting. So Cummins picking up 3, that was a hat-trick for him in this World Cup. Adam Zampa picking up 2 wickets as well. Maxwell and Starkey with also a wicket each. Chase की अगर हम बात करें, David Warner things, 53 not out from him, supported on the other end by Travis Head. Maxwell closing the game, 40 not out from his bat, and it was a rain-affected match, so the revised target Australia were already ahead of it, and in the end they won the match by 28 runs. After the DLS came into play, Australia are now at the top of their group with 2 points and a good-looking net run rate. Meanwhile, Bangladesh with 0 points at the bottom of the points table with a negative 2.4 as their run rate. Erin, this looks like an interesting group because Australia, they're yet to play India now in their Super 8, and that's going to be a heavyweight clash. But from what we saw this morning, I think Bangladesh seemed like they were struggling once again with their batting, and they started well, and Tauheed once again taking most of that responsibility. But a lot to think about for the Bangladesh batters because their next couple of games aren't going to be easy at all.
Yeah, a lot to think about as well. We thought that the batting was going to be the weaker of the 2 components for them to look at. The bowlers have been doing really well this far of the tournament. Probably the main reason why they do find themselves in the Super 8, it has to be said. They need to find more runs with the bat. I'm not sure how they do that. In terms of partnerships and working together, outside of a 58 between Liton Das and Hossein Shanto, they're not able to consistently find ways to work their way back from losing consistent wickets. Consistent wickets, of course, mean no partnerships, and no partnerships mean you don't get towards those scores that are able to be defended, or the kinds of scores that really put scoreboard pressure in your favour. Because 140 against the likes of Australia, when you've got the batting lineup that they've got, they were just never really in the contest today. We talk about partnerships though, that partnership up the top of the order was brilliant once again for Australia. David Warner and Travis Head, and they put on 65 in just the first 6.5 overs, and when you're only looking at 140, despite what the rain was doing, you're always kind of going to be ahead of the run rate there. We'll relive some of the glory shots of David Warner's innings a little bit now, but it's so great to see the big man who had a lot of pressure on his shoulders, Hafiz, coming into this tournament. People questioning his position in the side at the expense of a youngster like Jake Fraser-McGuirk, but World Cup cricket is different kind of cricket, and you're one to champion how important experience is, and his experience shone through just once again today.
Well, we all know how championly he played his whole career. In all the formats, by the time he started his cricket, he started as a champion, and he's still playing so well. He's still playing so strongly. I think whoever questioned that thing, they must not be consider him like he's not good at that level. So I think they made a mistake at that time, and he's proving them wrong by doing well at international level, because at this stage you need a lot of confidence, you need a lot of experience behind you to deliver in the ICC events. And I think Warner, we all know him very well. He's a very strong character, and he wanted to achieve for the country. So I think the way he's playing in this tournament, he's giving a great confidence to the team to lift the trophy once again, because he providing the most aggressive start as a team by demoralizing the oppositional bowlers. So I think he's doing a great job for the team, and I think he deserved to do well because of his short range, because of his explosiveness. So I think at the moment he's doing very well for the team.
Because let's not forget, cricket is such a mental sport as much as it is a physical sport, and being able to push through the head noise, the noise in the media, the chatter that happens around your place, irrespective of how old you are, how long you've been around the side. Like, he has had a wonderfully decorated career and has been proven as a wonderful opener, Yunus. But how impressive is the fact that he was able to focus, alleviate all of the outside chatter, and just do what needed to be done for the team.
And sometimes it's not easy to, as a senior player, if you are in this kind of, shape, and all the media, and sometimes your past teammates, they are telling about you that he's no more good for the team. But that's how you become a champion. That's how you become a senior player. Just go there and talk with your bat or with your ball. So his answer is very simple. He knows his role, and as always he perform whenever he is in these he or his team is in this kind of situation, so that's why he become a champion. So I think he make it simple for himself first, and then he make it simple for his team. So I think if they have the partnership like David Warner and Travis Head, we know that on the given day, if they stick there, they can perform big for their team, and especially now they are very close to winning this trophy. So I think it is the selectors and their senior player, they will know that Warner is a team man, he should be in the team. So that's how he performed for his team.
Speaking of the bowling effort by Australia, as always a very well-rounded bowling side, and Adam Zampa in every World Cup, he finds his way to get those wickets. In the last two World Cups that Australia have played, he has taken the second highest wickets, in 2021, in 2023. But this time, everyone knows, of course, we expect that from Zampa because the conditions are more spin friendly. But after demolishing that top order, the way Pat Cummins came at the death and removed those three batters and three very crucial batters for them, and did that while scoring a hat-trick, the first time in this World Cup, and of course the second time overall across T20 World Cups. The first Aussie bowler to do that was of course Brett Lee in 2007, also against Bangladesh. What do these Aussie bowlers have against the Tigers, Hafiz?
देखें, बांग्लादेश हमेशा से अंडर परफॉर्म रहे हैं आईसीसी इवेंट्स में, और इस सुपर 8 में भी वो अपनी बैटिंग की वजह से पीछे रह रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये एक ऐसी टीम है जो कंडीशनल बनती जा रही है। जब इनको कंडीशन मिलती हैं तो इनकी परफॉर्मेंस किसी को भी हराने के लिए ठीक होती है, लेकिन आउट ऑफ द कंफर्ट और वो अनफेमिलियर कंडीशन में बड़ा परफॉर्म नहीं करते। तो ये एक इनका चैलेंज है। लेकिन जिस तरीके से ऑस्ट्रेलिया की टीम खेल रही है, उनके पास फास्ट बॉलिंग की वो बॉलिंग लाइनअप मौजूद है जो किसी भी बैटिंग लाइनअप को हिला के रख सकती है। आप देखें कि स्टार्क, हेजलवुड और कमिंस, ये तीनों इनके 3 टेस्ट के बॉलर हैं जो सारे टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेलते हैं, वनडे खेलते हैं, लेकिन उन्होंने इन्हीं के साथ T20 खेल रहे हैं क्योंकि वो फिट हैं, वो खेलना चाहते हैं ताकि वो दूसरे टीम के जो टेक्निकल एरियाज़ है बैट्समैनों के, उसको एक्सपोज करते हैं। तो 3 टॉप लेवल की फास्ट बॉलिंग के साथ जब जैम्पा बीच में ऐड ऑन होते हैं तो वो कॉम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं एक दूसरे को। हालांकि इनका 5वां बॉलर हमेशा मिसिंग है, या स्टोइनिस कर रहा है, या मैक्सवेल कर रहा है, या मिचेल मार्श पहले करते हैं। वो प्रॉपर बॉलर नहीं है, एक ऑलराउंडर हैं जो साथ में 5वां या 6ठा बॉलर के तौर पर अपना रोल प्ले करते हैं। तो इन 4 बॉलर्स के साथ इनकी कामयाबी का पिछला वर्ल्ड कप भी जीतना और इस मरतबा भी दे गोइंग वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग। आई थिंक कि ये वो कॉम्प्लीमेंट है जो एक दूसरे को करते हैं, और जिस तरह के कमिंस इनको, पैट कमिंस इनको इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, इनकी वेल यूटिलाइजेशन कर रहे हैं एज ए कैप्टन, उसकी दाद देने की जरूरत है कि जिस तरीके से वो इनको लेके
मिच मार्श का भी बहुत बड़ा रोल है इस लीडरशिप के अंदर। पैट कमिंस का अगर हम हैट्रिक देखें,
वो लेकिन वो सेटअप हो चुका है।
लेकिन हम ये नहीं बात कर रहे कि कैप्टन कौन है, हम ये कह रहे हैं कि लीडर्स 2 मौजूद हैं वहां।
वो तो पैट कमिंस, आई डोंट थिंक ही हैज टेकन ऑफ दैट कैप्टन्स हैट, ही इज ऑलवेज।
देखिए हम एक बात
देखिए
हम एक बात करते हैं वर्कलोड मैनेजमेंट। तो हेजलवुड तो टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेलता है, उसके पास तो इतने पेस भी नहीं है, वो क्यों खेला T20? अच्छा, फिर हम स्टोइनिस की बात करते हैं कि आज अगर मैं उसकी बॉलिंग की बात करूं तो भाई मेन गेम्स में वो पावर प्ले में बॉल करते हैं, आज वो 5-6 एज ए बॉलर कर रहे हैं। क्यों? देखिए ये वर्कलोड मैनेजमेंट ये नहीं है कि आप सिर्फ T20 खेलेंगे, मैं सिर्फ वनडे खेलूंगा, आप सिर्फ टेस्ट मैचेस खेलेंगे, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है भाई। वर्कलोड मैनेजमेंट ये होती है कि आपको विद इन दी सीरीज़ भी बाज़-औक़ात कुछ मैच रेस्ट करा देते हैं, बाज़-औक़ात आप अवेलेबल रहो, जो हम यहाँ पे बात कर रहे हैं, जो ख़ास तौर पे हफीज़ भी बात करते हैं कि आप अवेलेबल रहो कि भाई अब मैंने अगर सिर्फ T20 खेलनी है तो मुझे सिर्फ ये नहीं कहना कि मुझे जाके डोमेस्टिक में भाई मैं तो खेलता ही नहीं हूँ, मुझे तो टीम खिलाती नहीं T20, उसके अलावा 4 डे में या टेस्ट मैचेस में या वनडेज़ में, मैं क्यों खेलूँ? तो देखिए ये आपको अंडरस्टैंड करना है कि वर्क लोड मैनेजमेंट ये नहीं है। वर्क लोड मैनेजमेंट ये है कि भाई आपको सीरीज़ में कभी आपको रेस्ट करना है, कभी आपको 4 ओवर करने हैं, कभी आपको 2 ओवर करने हैं। स्टोइनिस तो जो मुश्किल मैचेस में वो होता है आगे सर्कल में बॉल करते हैं, 4 ओवर करते हैं, आज 2 करके बैठा हुआ है, आज दूसरों को मौका दे रहे हैं, आज मैक्सवेल को दे रहे हैं। तो देखिए ये जो लीडर होते हैं ना, इस वक्त हम मिचेल मार्श की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, कौन लीडर है?
और पैट कमिंस के अंदर भी
जी, उसको क्या जरूरत है? अच्छा वो सारे फॉर्मेट।
Let's take a quick look before we head towards the break. Let's take a quick look at his spell, his hat trick, and what he did to the Bangladesh bowlers at the death, controlling it so beautifully.
अच्छा ये तो हमें अब इसकी ये आउट नजर आ रहे हैं ना। इससे पहले आप देखें जो इसने आके बॉलिंग की है, जो पहले 2 ओवर किए हैं वो अगर आप देखोगे तो उन्होंने उसको बैकफुट पे रखा, बाउंसर, स्लो वन बाउंसर, यॉर्कर्स, तेज बॉल, और उन्होंने बैटर्स को सेट किया कि वो गलती करें। तो ये उन्होंने एक जो हम बात करते हैं ना कि ये सिर्फ एक मैच नहीं है, आपको सम टाइम आपको ये स्टेटमेंट देनी होती है कि भाई रेडी रहो, क्योंकि ऐसी टीमों के खिलाफ भी अगर आप फंस के मैच जीतोगे तो जो बाकी टीमों के हैं उनको एक होप हो चलती है कि देखो उनको हम हरा सकते हैं। अभी हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं कि टफ टू बीट ऑस्ट्रेलिया। व्हाई इज दैट? बिकॉज इन एवरी सिंगल गेम दे मेक अ स्टेटमेंट, डोंट ओनली मेक अ प्लान अबाउट अवर बैटिंग, और बॉलिंग इज आल्सो टफ। सो ये जो स्टेटमेंट होती है, और फिर जब उनकी कैप्टनसी आती है, उनकी फील्डिंग आती है, उनकी पार्टनरशिप आती है, तो आपको सिर्फ वही जो हम बात करें कंडीशनल टीम नहीं बनना कि या तो आपकी टीम बॉलिंग अच्छी है या बैटिंग अच्छी है। ये वो स्टेटमेंट है जो आपको सेट करने होते हैं, ताकि दूसरी टीम को अंडर प्रेशर कैसे करोगे। तो इसी तरह के अब अगर इंडिया आएगी तो इंडिया भी बोलेगी कि भाई इनके कौन से बैटर के खिलाफ क्या प्लान होना चाहिए, कौन से बॉलर के खिलाफ क्या प्लान होना चाहिए। तो ये एक स्टेटमेंट आपको सेट करनी है।
And can you believe that with all the accolades that Pat Cummins has under his belt, this is the first time he's ever taken a hat-trick. So not since junior cricket has he managed to join that elusive club. Apparently on the bench they've got the likes of Nathan Ellis and Ashton Agar, who also have a hat-trick under their belt. Was giving him a little bit of stick saying, you're finally welcome in the club now, Hafiz.
Welcome to
You've
the club.
made it. You finally made it. Isn't that wild? I would have thought he would have had a few hat-tricks, but first one.
Well, hat-trick is not something that you can say and do it.
You can plan.
You can plan about it.
Yeah.
So it comes in your way if it is. So I think Pat Cummins deserved to be a good bowler because he hit the right areas more often, and the way he's performing for the team is great. As a hat-trick bowler, as I said earlier, you can't plan it, but this is one of the feather in your cap. Like you can say that in that format I had these hat-tricks, triple centuries, double centuries, so all these things come in your ways. But one interesting thing I want to add in that, and because of the captaincy thing, I just want to say a small thing on this. Like Mitchell Marsh been announced a captain how many months ago? Maybe 2 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, before this World Cup.
Yeah.
But there's no issue in their team. Pat Cummins was the champion captain of the 50-over format, and he's been changed by the new captain. There's no issue because they play for the country.
And we have a very collaborative approach in Australian cricket as well. There's a strong leadership team. Even though Pat Cummins may not be the captain in this respect, that Mitch Marsh will be welcoming any insight
And
that
this
he
is how
wants
it
to
should be.
add.
They play
As
for a
it
team.
should be.
That's what Yunus is mentioning and myself is mentioning. Like in their team, there's harmony. There's a collective effort to play for the country. They don't care about who's a leader, who's a captain, who's spinning the toss. But unfortunately, some of the countries, including Pakistan, it's a massive thing because of the PR thing, because some of the PR companies, they take it very seriously. Why our person is not a captain? For God's sake, go out of this, come out of this, think for a country and work all together how we can add value to bring the the best moments for Pakistan.
You know what's good PR? Winning games of cricket.
Yeah,
So let's do
absolutely.
that first. That's my
Beautifully
advice.
summed up on leadership and of course past glories. Time for a short break here on HMR Waterfront Presents Game On. When we come back, build up शुरू करेंगे South Africa versus India का, England का. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Well, a very warm welcome back to HMR Waterfront Presents Game On Hair, bringing you closer to all of the action of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup across the screens of PTV Sports. And what a match we have to look forward to tonight. In 90 minutes time, we head back to Group A of the Super 8s, and it's England taking on the might of the Proteas. And my goodness, I think we're in for a massive clash in St Lucia at Darren Sammy Stadium, because these are two heavyweight sides, and there it is there in St Lucia. The great Darren Sammy, we love him in Pakistan, and what a venue he has to call his own there in St Lucia. Best news is I can see there's blue skies, a little bit of cloud around, but most importantly, absolutely no barish to be seen, and that's how we like it. We're absolutely sick of the rain in this T20 World Cup, because we have a really big clash to look forward to here, Roha. Two of the heavyweight sides, South Africa, England, both sides have had a lot of success so far in this edition of the tournament. Undefeated, England with a washout to contend with, and South Africa scrapping to wins kind of no matter the circumstances. Hafiz, when you look at these two sides on paper, who do you think is stronger in these particular conditions today? What do you take away?
Well, it's really tough to make your judgment on this because the both teams are fully equipped when it comes to human resource. I think their batting, their bowling, their fielding are top notch. So I think this is the clash of a titan, I would say, in a way, because the both team can beat each other. And I think the way England is playing at the moment, this venue will suit them most, because they want a ball to come onto the bat, and their batsmen are hitting really well. If you go towards South African side, we all know, like, you know, the batting, the bowling is working well for them, but obviously before to get into this into this game, they were not having a best of the run from their batters. Some of the batters did well, but most of the batters couldn't do well because of the conditions they've been provided during this tournament. So I think overall I would go with England. I think they are a better side, seems like to me, as a bowling unit, as a batting unit, and even with the with Adil Rashid's bowling, I think they will have more edge on this track.
Right, and South Africa coming into this game, Yunus, उनके जो last 3 matches हैं against USA, Nepal and Bangladesh, बहुत हम ये नहीं कह सकते convincingly उन्होंने जीता या उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा balance create किया. Although on paper they have that balance, whether it's in the batting, and now we are seeing that जब से Caribbean आई है League World Cup, तो हम देख रहे हैं कि वो batters they are finding that form again. लेकिन इनको as a team in any given conditions, in what is lacking in South Africa? क्यों ये हर match में convincingly नहीं, when once they're winning, they let go of that momentum, then they make a comeback at the very last stage, and the margins that they've won by against 1 run, with 1 run against Nepal, 4 runs against Bangladesh, and by 18 runs in that last match, despite doing well with the bat at the start of the innings. कहाँ गलतियाँ कर रहा है साउथ अफ्रीका?
रोहा, एक अच्छी बात तो इस दफ़ा ये कि उन्होंने पहले स्टेज पे बहुत मुश्किल मैचेस खेल लिए हैं. अगर हम पास की साउथ अफ्रीका की बात करते हैं तो हमें लग रहा होता है कि पहले मैच से वो आते हैं, हर मैच जीते हुए चले जाते हैं और सेमीफाइनल में आते हैं और फिर वापस वहाँ से चले जाते हैं. तो इस दफ़ा ये तो नहीं हुआ. उन्होंने हर मैच मुश्किल में खेला और जीतते चले गए, और उनकी जो लक थी उनकी तरफ शुरू से ही रही. तो आई होप कि वो इसे लर्न करेंगे और मूव फॉरवर्ड होंगे. लेकिन अच्छी बात है कि अगर हम उनके बैटर्स की बात करें, थोड़ा सा स्ट्रगल किया. उनके जो मिडल ऑर्डर्स में थे वो तो ठीक हैं, मिडल में तो उनके जो क्लासन खेलते हैं और डेविड मिलर खेलते हैं, उन्होंने परफॉर्मेंसेस की, और उन्होंने वो एक जो सीनियर प्रो के तरीके से उनको खेलना चाहिए था वैसे उन्होंने परफॉर्म किया. लेकिन जो लास्ट में जिस तरह क्विंटन डी कॉक ने परफॉर्म किया, एडम मार्कम की नज़र आई वहाँ पे, उसके पहले हेनरिकस ने एक मैच में परफॉर्म किया, तो ये वापस आ रहे हैं. मेरे ख्याल से ये लर्न करेंगे, और जो इन पे एक टैग लगा हुआ है कि ये आके चौक कर जाते हैं, इस दफ़ा नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी वो उनके ऑपोजिट चल रहा है. आई होप कि अच्छा मैच हो.
वर्ल्ड कप में ये प्रेडिक्शन करते हैं कि इस वर्ल्ड कप में वो
शुरू में हमारी 4 में होती है, शुरू में हमारी 4 में होती है, लेकिन जैसे हम सेमीफाइनल में पहुंचते हैं तो बोलते हैं कि नहीं ये अभी आगे नहीं जाएगी. तो मेरे ख्याल से इस दफ़ा नहीं होगा. लेकिन मुझे लग रहा है कि अब उनको, उनका कैप्टन चेंज हुआ है, उनके सीनियर प्लेयर जो हैं वो टीम के हिसाब से खेले, उनके पास स्पिनर मौजूद है. तबरेज़ शमसी से हमें बड़ी एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि वो थोड़ा सा, अगर उनकी तरफ से थोड़ी सी और अच्छी परफॉर्मेंसेस हों, तो जो कि मिडल में जो जिस तरह टीम इंग्लैंड खेलती है तो उनको वो डैमेज कर सकते हैं. तो मेरे ख्याल से उनके पास रिसोर्सेज मौजूद है. उनके पास ख़ास तौर पे अगर मैं बॉलिंग करूं तो वो मौजूद है. और फिर जो एक हम बात करते हैं इम्पैक्ट कब होता है इस T20 में, शुरू से फर्स्ट 6 ओवर्स में, तो उनके पास वहाँ ऐसे बैटर मौजूद है, उनके पास ऐसे बॉलर्स मौजूद हैं, और उनके पास वैरायटी ऑफ जो है ना बॉलिंग मौजूद है, वैरायटी ऑफ द बैटर्स मौजूद है. आई होप कि वो कंबाइन करें और स्विच ऑन हो, क्योंकि देखिए अब मौका नहीं है. हर मैच को अगर आप लेट्स सपोज हारते भी हो तो आपका नेट रन रेट कहीं करीब आप ज़रूर जाएं. ऐसा नहीं कि जैसे कल एक मैच में हुआ कि अब अफ़गानिस्तान मैच हारे तो बहुत दूर हार गए. करीब जाएं ताकि अगर कहीं बारिश हो जाए या कोई एक आधा पॉइंट ऊपर नीचे हो जाए तो आपके पास आगे मूव करने के लिए चांस हो.
We'll take a little look at this side more in depth in terms of England. They did have a loss in their earlier encounters, obviously against Australia, so it hasn't been completely smooth sailing for England, but the emphatic victory over the West Indies in their first Super 8s encounter was a big statement, and I think a lot of that has come down to a man who does actually fly under the radar a lot of the time, but we talk about the importance of spinners in this format of the game, and Adil Rashid, for all the noise around Jofra Archer being back in the side, yes, what a strike weapon he is, but as we take a little look at just how underrated he actually is as a bowler, look at these stats here. Most wickets in T20 Is for spinners. Adil Rashid sitting in 4th there. economy of 7.41. Just how important is he, Hafiz, to England being successful in this T20 World Cup, particularly in these spin-friendly conditions?
Well, we all know he's a quality bowler. In a white ball cricket, I believe he was one of the bowler who basically given a great cushion of their fast bowling, because we know in England most of the time it was a fast bowling oriented team, but you know, as he came into the side from the last 10 years, I believe he's been doing a great job for the team. He's taking more wickets in the middle stage of the innings, which is more important. So I think especially in this tournament also, he's bringing all his experience into play. He's using his variation very well. His captain is using him very well at the right spot. Whenever he requires a wicket, he brings that man and he delivers for the team. So I think overall, if you see the performances of Adil Rashid, he is a very, very impactful and useful player to perform for England.
He's much a strike weapon as he is the likes of Jofra Archer as well, Roha, and if he's not, then he's making sure that he's restricting those middle over partnerships, either constantly taking wickets or putting pressure on the batters so that the guy at the other end gets the pole and gets the job done.
You're right about the fact that he is a bit underrated, especially in these conditions, and I'm sure England will be looking to utilize him to his best potential moving forward. But what they're coming up against in terms of bowling, Yunus, अगर हम South Africa की bowling की बात करें, they have their pace options and they have some very solid options. हम last match में यही discuss कर रहे थे कि कौन बाहर बैठेगा.
मुश्किल डिसीजन था, लेकिन हफीज भाई ने बड़ा आसान कर दिया था हमारे लिए.
हफीज भाई
स्ट्रेट अवे
उस मैच में जिनकी प्रेडिक्शन उन्होंने की,
वहीं से तो हमने आपको मैडम सिलेक्टर बनाया, नहीं तो आप कहाँ बनती.
मैंने अभी ओदा नहीं ही संभाला.
नहीं, हमने तो देखा ना, हम तो चाह रहे हैं कि आप मैडम सिलेक्टर बन गई हैं. बस
आप दुआ करें कोई अच्छा ओदा हमें भी मिले, बट नहीं, सिलेक्टर अभी बहुत आगे की बात है. कमिंग बैक टू सेलेक्टिंग हु विल प्ले इन दिस मैच.
रोहान, हम अगर दोनों स्पिनर्स की बात कर लें, आदिल रशीद की बात करें और महाराज की बात कर लें जी, तो हमने देखा कि दोनों जो क्रिकेटर हैं, दोनों जो बॉलर हैं, ठीक है, अगर मैं आदिल रशीद की बात करूँ तो अब वो टेस्ट क्रिकेट नहीं खेलते ज़्यादातर, वो वनडे और T20 खेल रहे होते हैं, और लेकिन ये कि महाराज सारे फॉर्मेट खेल रहे हैं. लेकिन अगर इनकी आप बात करें तो ये कोई यंग बॉलर्स नहीं है, ये एक सीनियर बॉलर्स हैं और दे आर 30+ आई थिंक.
जी
ठीक है जी.
स्पेन में तो वी नो उनके पास वो आर्सेनल है, वो ऑप्शंस है. इवन साउथ अफ्रीका
फास्ट बॉलर की
अगर
मैं बात करूं, देखिए फास्ट बॉलर की जिस तरह नोकिया को वो यूज़ कर रहे हैं, ये एग्जैक्टली वो जो हम जिस तरह उमर गुल के हम बार बार बात करें 2007 और 2008 में. देखिए, जब मिडल्स में आपके पास ऐसे बॉलर्स हो, क्योंकि आप चाहते हो कि मिडल, क्योंकि आपको लगता है कि फर्स्ट पावर प्ले में आपको 50-60 रन हुए होते हैं, और फिर जो क्रूशियल पीरियड आता है वो दैट मिडल पीरियड आता है. उसमें सब टीम चाहती हैं कि अगर 10 की एवरेज
यूनुस हर फेज में डोमिनेट कर रहे हैं इस वर्ल्ड कप में.
देखिए ऑटोमेटिकली देखिए 5-6 ओवर पहले के और 5 ओवर जो लास्ट है उसमें तो आपको ऑटोमेटिकली अटैक करना है ना. टीमें पीछे कहाँ जाती है और आगे कहाँ कंटिन्यूसली निकलती हैं, वही मिडल का फेज जो कि 7 ओवर से लेके राउंड कोई 15-16 ओवर तक बनता है. तो इस फेज में अगर आपके पास अच्छे क्वालिटी फास्ट बॉलर्स हैं, जैसे रबादा मौजूद हैं, नोकिया मौजूद हैं, उसके बाद अगर इंग्लैंड की बात करें तो उनके पास भी वुड को वो खिलाते हैं, एक्सक्लूसिव फास्ट बॉलर हैं. उसके बाद उनके पास भी 2-3 और ऑप्शंस हैं जो कि वो वहाँ पे उसको यूटिलाइज करते, क्योंकि जब क्रॉस बैट शॉट्स आते हैं और अगर आपके पास वेरिएशन ऑफ फास्ट बॉलर्स में खास तौर पे स्पिनर का तो ठीक है, आपके पास दोनों के पास क्वालिटी स्पिनर्स है, तो वहाँ मुश्किल हो जाता है.
और साउथ अफ्रीका इस वर्ल्ड कप में जो एज फार एज पेस बॉलिंग इज कंसर्न सबसे ज़्यादा उनकी इफेक्टिव है इन टर्म्स ऑफ विकेट्स, इन टर्म्स ऑफ इकोनॉमी. 24 विकेट्स इस वर्ल्ड कप में सिर्फ साउथ अफ्रीका के फास्ट बॉलर्स ने लिए.
उनको हम एक एज दे देते हैं ना, हम उनको एक एज दे देते हैं कि उनके मैचेस न्यूयॉर्क में हुए, नोकिया ने जिस तरह अमेजिंग, ठीक है, वही बात है कि ये तो जो डाटा है, स्टैट्स है, ये तो एक इन्फॉर्मेशन है. लेकिन जिस तरह के रबादा ने लास्ट मैच में परफॉर्म ही किया और ख़ास तौर पर जो 19th ओवर किया, वहाँ पे सिर्फ 1-2 रन और 1-2 आउट, मेरे ख्याल से देखें ये तभी आप कर सकते हो जब आपके पास एक्सपीरियंस हो, आपके पास पेस हो और फिर वेरिएशंस हो. तो मेरे ख्याल से ये दोनों टीमों की मैं बात करूँ तो ये फुली लोडेड है. अच्छा मैच होना चाहिए. मैं चाहता हूँ कि साउथ अफ्रीका मैच जीते. उसकी वजह यह है कि मैं ये नहीं कि हफीज़ भाई ने इंग्लैंड को कहा है, इंग्लैंड के साथ तो देखिए अगर आप उनकी बात करें, उनके कैप्टन की बात करें, उनकी पूरी टीम शीट की बात करें, तो वो तो पूरी लोडेड लग रही है और हमें लग रहा है कि शायद वो फाइनल में भी पहुंच जाए. लेकिन मेरी बड़ी ख्वाहिश है कि जैसे ख्वाहिश थी कि अफ़गानिस्तान टीम टॉप 4 में जाए, मेरी ये बड़ी ख्वाहिश है कि ये फाइनल्स में जाए. उसकी वजह ये कि बार बार ये आते हैं अच्छी टीमों के साथ. हमारी बड़ी ख्वाहिश है, मेरी बड़ी ख्वाहिश है कि साउथ अफ्रीका आज एक मैच जीते, स्टेटमेंट दें और वो फाइनल में.
मेरी भी एक ख्वाहिश है, मैडम सिलेक्टर अगर इजाज़त
मुझे
दें।
पता था।
आपने भी बात की कि फास्ट बॉलिंग जो है वो साउथ अफ्रीका की बहुत शानदार रोल प्ले कर रही है, बिल्कुल ठीक है। वो उन्होंने बात कर दी कि कंडीशनल उनको बहुत हेल्प मिली, वो फास्ट बॉलिंग के लिए बड़ी यूज़फुल कंडीशन थी। अगर ये कंडीशन है तो 5 के 5 फास्ट बॉलर खिला दिए जाएं साउथ अफ्रीका की
ऐसा
तरफ।
तो नहीं
मैं बात
डेटा की उसमें
मैडम
data
सेलेक्टर
हो
बात ही
सकता
की है मैंने
मैं तो सिर्फ
कि अगर 5 में
एक
खिला
case
दूं तो आपको
present
लगता
कर
है
रही
कि
हूँ।
फिर तो साउथ अफ्रीका को बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म करना चाहिए।
नहीं,
250 होएगा 250।
फास्ट बॉलर्स कौन अकेले obviously they're looking for that balance but
The
based on what
combination
we have
आपको-
seen in this World Cup so far, Professor meet me halfway here.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Sure.
जितना
Sure.
डेटा हमारे पास अभी है
जी, जी।
उसके basis पे I think South Africa are leading in that chart
Very good.
as far
जी,
as the
doing
pace
well.
attack is concerned, and they will be looking to really improve that tally
I
today.
personally feel maybe on this track because they're playing in Saint Lucia,
Yeah.
they might go with the Bartman once again because to me he was using the new ball very well. He was hitting the right area, and Shamsi is a very good bowler. But you know the confidence he shown in the last game, he was low in confidence. Maybe the management might think about playing in Saint Lucia where obviously it does not spin that much. So why not to have a Bartman who already done a good job for the team? He can come back into
And
the side.
especially he take wickets on front,
Up
so
front, yeah.
And if you have
But
to
that
just-
is only thing coming in my mind.
And if you had to decide between the spinners, Maharaj offers you a much higher batting ability
Yeah.
than the likes of Shamsi. Just quickly as well, though, not only are the pacers taking poles, but the dot ball economy from Mark Orianson and Anrik Nokia has been absolutely exceptional. They're dealing in well over 50-60% of their balls are dot balls. So, Hafizi, when it comes to the South African bowling unit as a whole, they've got pace, they've got variety, they've got the ability to dot you up and create pressure, but they have the ability to take wickets as well. If you're the England batting lineup, how are you looking to try and score against their nasty fasties
I really
today?
don't think so that matters the most because the pitch they are playing on, Saint Lucia, it's a pitch where the batsmen can enjoy themselves. And also, just imagine, like, the stats are showing in this World Cup and where they played all day cricket in New York and St. Vincent, where obviously it was not easy for a batsman to rotate the strike. On this track, I don't think so that stat will come into play because on this track we have seen some of the games like it was a high scoring affair most of the time, and the batters enjoy the most. And obviously they're playing against one of the very destructive batting lineup who can basically destroy you on a day. So this pitch will offer a lot of short option for the England batsmen to null this stats what we seen just now. So I personally feel both teams will enjoy the most in their batting, but depend who will do well in their bowling department, because as a bowler if you do well in these conditions, I think you're winning more matches for the team. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, really good insight from the professor. As always, St. Lucia, a much higher scoring ground, which both sides will enjoy later on the big game between England and South Africa happening in St. Lucia. Time for a very short break here, though, on HMR Waterfront presents Game on Hai. But stick with us because the toss, the all-important toss, the playing 11s, all of that is on the other side.
Ji, welcome back to HMR Waterfront presents Game on Hai. We're building up to South Africa versus England. Toss about to be live on your screens in just a few minutes. But before we get to that, before we get to all of the toss and playing 11 and of course the pitch report, we have some quick prizes to give away. And for that, Erin, what's our first question of the day?
Cheesiest family deal, everyone's favourite cricket snack. This is your question to see if you could win yourself a family deal. Who is the youngest captain in cricket history? If you know the answer to that question, please call that number on your screen and get yourself some of the yummy, most delicious food from Cheesiest.
Next question, of course, you have a chance of winning a plot in Blue World City, Shoaib Akhtar Enclave. If you know the answer to this very simple question, it's a very easy one. If you're an Erin Holland fan, which famous cricketer is Erin Holland married to? If you know the answer to that, please Facebook page pe jaye Blue World City and
Mr.
you might
Holland.
be able to
It's
win.
Mr. Holland?
It's Mr. Holland.
Yeah.
Mr.
Who
Holland.
is Mr. Holland?
Mr. Holland?
But that's an easy one if you've been following our show, because Erin has been, of course, talking about her experiences and what she has picked up from Mr. Husband.
Mr. Husband, Mr. Holland.
Mr.
Yeah.
Holland. That's
I
what
love
we're
that.
calling
What a
him
fun
now.
question.
That
Good
is the
go.
hint from us.
That was a hint. That was a big hint from us. Let's just say we've both been around the PSL for a long time. We both love coming to this country. And he was part of the World 11 when cricket came back to Pakistan all those years ago. So, I mean, the number of people that yell out his name to me when I'm walking around the hotel, I'm pretty sure most people know who Mr. Holland may be. But thanks, PTV. What a wonderful question. I'm chuffed.
Let's start our build-up, you know, just moments
Yeah.
away from the toss as well. But what will be the importance of this toss today? We know the match is in St. Lucia. What do we know about the conditions?
I will love to South Africa winning the toss.
And batting.
No, bowling first.
Oh, he
Why
changes
is that?
his mind.
Ask me why is that?
I'm
Why is
asking you.
that?
Cute.
Because England is more easy to chase down. So I think they expose them like that.
Oh, look out. Well, the toss is just about to get underway in St. Lucia. We know it's batting-friendly conditions. We know Nasser Hussain, the great man himself, he'll be hoping for a big win from England. He will be officiating the toss today, knowing what we know about the conditions, knowing that it looks like it's beautiful weather out there today as well. I think it might be one where the captains do want to win the toss and elect to bowl first. Looks like toss is now ready though, so let's get over to St. Lucia. It's toss time.
Hot conditions. Here's Nasser.
Two sides have made winning starts to Super 8 cricket, go head-to-head here in St. Lucia. Captains are ready, match referee is ready. Josh, you've got the coin, give it a spin.
Tails.
Tails is the call.
We're going to bowl first.
Josh, you've won the toss, what are you going to do and why?
We're going to bowl first today. A fresh wicket, looks a good pitch. We fancy another chase.
Anything different in this pitch? I mean, 10:30 start, does that make any difference in this part of the world?
Potentially, maybe a little bit of moisture in it early on. I'm sure the ball will swing on the wind as well. But yeah, a fresh wicket. We chased well the other day, so we're going to back that formula again.
What is your team news?
We're going with the same team.
You must be thrilled with that performance against the West Indies. It was almost perfect.
Yeah, really good performance. I thought in all facets of the game we played a really good game of cricket. But that's done now. We're up against a really tough opposition in South Africa, and we expect a really good game.
Jofra was brilliant then. He could possibly play 3 games in 5 days. Is that a concern, or is it just 4 overs, get on with it?
No, obviously we want to look after him as well as we can, but no, he's in a great place. I think he wants to play cricket. He's got a big smile on his face and he's bowling well, so it's hard to hold him back when he's feeling like that.
And the specific challenge of playing against South Africa, they are unbeaten and playing some good cricket.
Yeah, they are obviously an unbeaten side. Got some top players, both with the bat and with the ball, so it's sure to be a great game.
Go well, Joss.
Thank you.
Aidan, you've lost the toss. What would you have done?
Yeah, also bowled first, Nas, just on the basis of it's quite an early start, a little bit of moisture in it, you would think, and probably would have fancied rather chasing. But that being said, we're still happy to try put a good score on the board and squeeze them after that.
It's been a quick turnaround for you. You played that game in Antigua, then a flight in. How important is it you hit the ground running quickly here?
Yeah, I think most of your games now moving forward, you need to start quite well. So we've addressed that as a team. Had a nice flight straight after the game, so I had the whole of yesterday off to rest and recover, and hopefully the boys are nice and fresh for today's challenge.
After having batted on some tricky pitches, was it nice to get in rhythm in the last game on a good surface, top order in particular?
Yeah, it helped. I think the top order needed it. Spent some time out there and just a reminder of how we score runs in this part of the world, so that was good. Our middle order's been getting us over the line on those tricky wickets, so hopefully as a full team today we can put a good game together in all facets and take confidence again moving forward.
Good luck this morning.
Thanks, Nat. Thank you.
So the news from the toss is that England have won the toss. They're going to have a bowl.
Gee, the news from St. Lucia is that England have won the toss and they're bowling first, going ahead with an unchanged team. Joss Butler abhi toss pe hi keh rahe the कि he was asked about workload management, Jofra Archer ke baare mein, but he says he looks in great shape, and all in all he looked confident going into this match because South Africa aren't going to be an easy opponent for them.
Yeah, I think उन्होंने सेम टीम इसीलिए खिलाई है कि वो चाहते हैं कि अगर ये वाला मैच वो जीतते हैं तो काफ़ी हद तक उनकी अगले राउंड में जाने की क्लियरेंस आती है, क्योंकि नेट रन रेट पहले ही अच्छा है तो वो अपनी फुल स्ट्रेंथ के साथ जा रहे हैं, विच इज़ गुड. लेकिन अगर मैं साउथ अफ्रीका की तरफ जाऊँ वो थोड़े अनश्योर्ड लगे. ठीक है, मुझे लगता है कि एक आसान डिसीजन है किसी भी कप्तान के लिए कि जब अर्ली स्टार्ट हो रहा है तो there's always a light moisture within the surface. तो उसको वेल यूटिलाइज करना चाहते हैं इंग्लैंड और वो अपने फार्मूला को रिपीट करना चाहते हैं विच इज़ ऑब्वियसली टू चेज डाउन एनी टोटल. तो आई थिंक अगर मैं इस सारे कॉन्टेक्स्ट में देखूं तो मुझे लगता है कि इंग्लैंड ज़्यादा टॉस जीत के कंफर्टेबल जोन में नज़र आ रहा है और साउथ अफ्रीका को एक ऐसी कंडीशन जहां पे हो सकता है पहले 5 या 4 ओवर आपको चैलेंज करे कंडीशन, उसको पहले सी ऑफ करना ज़रूरी है, एक राइट मोमेंटम लेना भी ज़रूरी है. तो उनको थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा चैलेंज जो है वो मिलेगा श्योरली.
बार्टमैन वापस आ गए हैं मेरे ख्याल से, मैं टीम देख रहा हूँ यहाँ पे. तो शम्स
बार्टमैन, हाँ जी, अभी तक
तो शम्सी इज नॉट प्लेइंग, बार्टमैन इज
Bartman back in the side.
Back in the side.
You did say just before we had to rushedly get to the toss, Eunice, that if South Africa had won, you would have thought they might have wanted to bowl first. Aidan Markram did say that had he got his way, he would have liked to have bowled first. What do you think about what they have to offer would have made them more potent bowling first today?
I think there's maybe a little bit of moisture. So I think that's why I want to them they can bowl first, because that's how they expose the batting of England. But it is also good for them. They can go and they can just play their shots, and if they have the some good runs on the board, so they have a good chance to defend that.
And if you're a side under a little bit of pressure with the bat, which it has to be said, Roha, batting has probably been their concern versus the bowling, which has been exceptional. Is that quite freeing as a batter to go in? You've got no scoreboard pressure to worry about. You've got the freedom to just play your natural game and hopefully post a sizable total.
Same like in the last game, when they're playing against Team USA. So that's how your main batter like Quinton de Kock, he get the form. So I think sometimes it's much better. You can go and run on the board, and your top batter, they have the freedom of just they execute their skills. So I think sometimes it's working for you, and I hope they can have some runs on the board and they can defend it.
And shortly we'll also have a look at the pitch and know more about the conditions. But in their last game against US, they posted 194 on the board. Looked like a great score on that wicket, but also their bowling, they allowed USA to concede 176. And how will they be looking to tackle that problem today? Because no matter what runs on the board might be, it's going to be the bowlers who will have to take that responsibility.
देखिए वो यूएस की अगर आप बात करें उस टीम की, तो उसके खिलाफ एक आध बॉलर का बैड डे आप फिर भी रिकवर कर गए, लेकिन अच्छी टीम के खिलाफ अगर किसी एक या दो बॉलर्स का बैड डे हो तो वो रिकवर नहीं होता. मुझे लगता है इसीलिए उन्होंने एक चेंज किया है, जो मुझे लग रहा है कि शायद बार्टमैन जो है वो खेल रहे हैं इस मैच के अंदर और शम्सी नहीं खेल रहे क्योंकि ही हैड अ ऑफ डे दैट डे. तो मुझे लगता है कि एक राइट डिसीजन है साउथ अफ्रीका की तरफ से. उनकी बैटिंग का चैलेंज देखें, जब मोस्टली जब भी ये बुरा परफॉर्म करते हैं या जब भी जो टीमें हारती हैं वो अपने बैटिंग कोलैप्स से हारती हैं, और मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम साउथ अफ्रीका तब कोलैप्स कर रही है या करती है जब स्कोर बोर्ड का प्रेशर पड़ता है. तो इन अ वे इट कुड बी अ वेरी गुड चांस फॉर देम कि वो जाएं विदाउट एनी प्रेशर ऑन देम दैट दे हैव टू चेज डाउन एनी टोटल, जस्ट गो आउट देयर, assess the condition and give your best shot to get the maximum runs on the board. And if they do that, the bowling is always having that ability, they can restrict any team. So I think in a way, I think it's a blessing in disguise for them at the moment. Like in a crucial game, the batting first, no matter if it's a slightly challenging condition, you have to tackle. If you go through with that 3-4 overs earlier and you don't lose too many wickets in those first 6 overs, you will have a very good platform to set 190 or 200 on this track.
So England electing to bowl first,
and
Eunice.
especially as a captain, if doesn't know, and both of the captain were said that maybe little bit of moisture, so they are not sure
about
so what will be a pitch offer. So I think it's much better you just lose the toss and bat first, and you have some runs on the board and then you can defend it.
Well, that was exactly my next question, because England, they elected to bowl first. It's a fresh wicket. They said potentially a little bit of moisture around, so a bit of swing, and particularly in the wind, on offer early. If you are England coming up against South Africa, we know Quinton de Kock went fishing and found his form as well as a few fish, so he's looking dangerous if the last match is anything to go by. Would you be going straight with Jofra, Wood with the new ball, or are you going to try and sneak in over a spinning with Moeen and just sort of, waste an over or two early?
You have much better chance to, with going with your fast bowlers, and especially when the batter just smashing the ball, so you have more chance to get wickets with the fast bowlers.
I personally don't mind to give a first over to Moeen Ali, because Quinton de Kock, yes, he's a very good batsman, but he often struggle against off spinner. So I think I don't mind as a captain. If I would be the captain, I will throw the ball to Moeen Ali and just to give him a first over, not the second over. No. The first over, there's always something in your mind, and if it's right area, you can get him out.
And sometimes captain does like that. You know, they are just try you are one bowler, and you know they are in the next over they can offer different kind of bowler or fast bowler or spinner. So that's how you not. You change the batter's mind all the time.
It's such a good trick, but just don't go one over too many.
Yeah.
As you remember what happened to Will Jackson, England tried exactly that against Australia. But anyway, moving on, we've got the contest to look forward to.
Talking about who the key players might be with the ball, Yunus Khan, if you could please walk us through the Proteas team and see what they have in store today.
देखिए मैं अगर यहाँ की बात करूँ क्विंटन डिकॉक की फॉर्म आना, फिर हेनरिक्स की तरफ से एक आधे मैच में रन्स होना, मार्करम का भी फॉर्म वापस आई है, ठीक है बड़ी इनिंग नहीं खेल सके, लेकिन ये कि ये इतनी क्वालिटी बैटिंग है यहाँ पे कि अगर यहाँ से भी कोई भी एक बैटर थोड़े से भी 10 से 15 ओवर खेलते हैं तो ये अच्छा रन कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद हमें पता है कि क्लासन और मिलर क्या करें, स्टब्स की भी अगर मैं ऑन एंड ऑफ देखूँ तो उनकी भी वो इनिंग्स मौजूद हैं। अच्छा, इनकी तरफ से अगर मैं बात करूं तो ये जो स्पिनर महाराज का जो रोल है वो आज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि अगर ये आपको 2 से 3 आउट करके देते हैं और ये इंग्लैंड की मिडल ऑर्डर को एक्सपोज करते हैं तो ये यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा इम्पैक्ट डाल सकते हैं। बाकी हमें रबादा का पता है, नोकिया जैसे हमें पता है कि वो आते हैं और मिडल में बहुत अच्छी बॉल करते हैं, रबादा के पास वो एक्सपीरियंस मौजूद जैसे उन्होंने लास्ट मैच में किया। बार्टमैन का हमें पता है कि ये जब नए बॉल के साथ आएंगे तो ये इनके पास वेरिएशन मौजूद है और अभी भी क्योंकि ये इतने ज़्यादा क्रिकेट नहीं खेले हुए तो बाज़ बैटर्स को इतना आइडिया नहीं होता, लेकिन मेरे ख्याल से यहाँ पे जो जनसन का है इनका रोल बहुत ज़रूरी है कि इनकी तरफ से जो हम इनको जानते हैं कि ये लंबी हिट्स खेलते हैं तो इनका रोल बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होगा। मेरे ख्याल से मेरे जो आज के एडम मार्कर जो है ना वो मेरे की प्लेयर होंगे यहाँ पे।
Right, thank you so much, Captain Yunus Khan. That was the South African
My
team.
turn. Well done, Yunus bhai.
Your turn.
No other choice.
Unchanged side
unchanged
for England.
team to me.
Yeah.
I think obviously Bairstow, Salt and Butler, heavy 3. मैं इसको भी बाद में कंसिडर करता हूँ, लेकिन फर्स्ट टॉप 3 ये इनकी ऐसी बैटिंग लाइनअप है जो ये चाहेंगे कि ये फायर करे वंस अगेन। Obviously Salt, the way he's playing, they would like him to go and start the inning at the stage where he left. अगर उसके बाद अगर मैं इधर में जाऊँ तो अभी तक ब्रूक ने अपना जो टैलेंट है वो जस्टिफाई नहीं किया हुआ इस स्टेज के ऊपर। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये एक ऐसे प्लेयर हैं जो मिडल ओवर में बहुत शानदार क्रिकेट खेल के दे सकते हैं। आप ये देखें, बेंच स्ट्रेंथ की बात मैं करना यहाँ पे इसलिए चाहता हूँ कि सैम करन पिछले टूर्नामेंट के मैन ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट थे। ये होती है बेंच स्ट्रेंथ कि उनको इस टीम में आने के लिए स्ट्रगल करनी पड़ रही थी। हमारे यहाँ पे वहीं पे कुर्सी घूमती है, वहीं पे आकर रुक जाती है कि जी हमारी बेंच स्ट्रेंथ ही नहीं है। तो दिस इज़ हाउ यू मेक योर बेंच स्ट्रेंथ। ही केम बैक इनटू द साइड एंड ही इज डिलीवर फॉर द टीम वंस अगेन। इनकी कंट्रीब्यूशन के साथ साथ अगर मैं इधर जाऊँ तो आई थिंक दिस मैन विल प्ले अ की रोल फॉर देम, क्योंकि इसकी जो विकेट टेकिंग एबिलिटी है वो बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होगी। पहले जो है नॉट टू अलाउ देम टू सेट दैट टोटल, लेकिन मुझे लगता है ओवरऑल एक पूरा वो यूनिट है जो चैलेंज करेगा साउथ अफ्रीका को अर्लियर इन दिस कंडीशन विद द फास्ट बॉलिंग and also with this guy as a spinner.
And that's such an interesting point you just make, Hafiz, just on the England playing 11. You've got Sam Curran and Reece Topley who weren't in the original playing 11 that England came into this T20 World Cup in, so that bench strength has already been tested and they're sticking with some of the changes that they've made. Like, just goes
and then
to show
change is
how
required to be in these conditions, provided conditions. So I think this is how you select your team, that in the given condition you can always go with all the members, whoever get the opportunity to deliver for the team. So I think why I mentioned Curran, because he was a man of the tournament in the last tournament they played in Australia. They were the champion that time and he was not been able to get any chance before that. So I think good to see him back as a champion bowler, and along with Topley, because he does swing the new ball very well, and obviously Mark would rocket from him, Archer as a fast bowler, and then Adil I would make him a most important player to play his role as a spinner.
And imagine if Liam Livingstone, we get the very best out of him as well. He's been very quiet in this T20 World Cup.
He's always been quiet.
He can be so damaging though, can't he?
We have seen what he's capable of, especially in the PSL, always getting those runs and always delivering with the ball as well whenever given that opportunity. So some of the players, as Hafiz and Yunus also pointed out, performance ड्यू हो रही है कुछ ऐसे प्लेयर्स की जो इंग्लैंड टीम के साथ हैं. सो वीड लव टू सी, जैसे लास्ट मैच में हमने साउथ अफ्रीका के कुछ प्लेयर्स को वापस फॉर्म में आते हुए देखा. बट आज का मैच जो है वो किस पिच पे खेला जाएगा, क्या आउटफील्ड है, क्या कंडीशंस है, क्या वेदर है, व्हाट आर द एक्सपर्ट्स सेइंग? लेट्स गो टू सेंट लूसिया वेयर वी हैव माइक एथरटन एंड नैटली जर्मानोस विद द पिच रिपोर्ट.
Got a few differences for today's game, one being a fresh pitch, but also it's a day game. So what does that mean from a weather perspective? 30 degrees is the high for today, so still pretty hot, but very little chance of rain. There'll be some wind around too, 16-kilometre-an-hour wind, so that's still going to be a factor here in St. Lucia. Boundaries, though, more even square this time around, 69 metres as opposed to 66, while the straight hit is still a good hit at 78 metres. Now, fresh pitch, Michael Atherton, a big game obviously, but we've seen some good surfaces so far. What's your thoughts on pitch number 3?
Yeah, it is a fresh pitch, but it doesn't look any different to the other pitch actually that we saw the other night between England and West Indies. So I think it's going to be a very good surface again. This pitch has been the best across the entire competition in terms of batting. The numbers are quite stark. It's basically 1 run per over, better than anywhere else. So over the course of a game, that's quite a stark number, an aggregate of 40 runs higher here than anywhere else. So I suspect we'll see we're in for a high-scoring game. England have the advantage that they've played here. They know the conditions, they know the ground dimensions. I think the issue for South Africa is that they've played 3 games in New York, which has been one of the poorer pitches or one of the more uneven pitches in the competition. So how many of their batters are in very good form remains to be seen. There were just signs in their last game in Antigua that they were finding a little bit of form, but having had 3 games in New York, it'll be interesting to see how much they can take advantage of this good surface.
Day game, what are you doing, batting or bowling first?
I don't think it really matters. It's whatever you fancy doing. England, of course, chased against West Indies the other evening and chased well. I suspect that's what they prefer to do again.
Well, it should be an interesting game. Expecting a good surface against 2 good sides.
Well, news to South Africa's ears what Michael Atherton just said then. He said, I don't think it matters whether or not you bat or bowl first on this. It looks like a really good surface. Plenty of runs on offer. So hopefully a very even contest between both bat and ball in both innings today. We can't get to live action though without going through a few more questions for Rohan, giving our wonderful fans at home a chance to win a few more things from PTV Sports today. And it's my absolute pleasure to first announce the winner of yesterday's Parkview Winner Mobile Daily contest. And that winner is Bismal Wazir. Congratulations, sir. You won yourself that Parkview City mobile phone thanks to our friends at Parkview. And we want to give you the chance to win one today as well. So my absolute pleasure to announce today's question. And it is as follows. Who is the highest run scorer for Pakistan in Test cricket? Ah, that's an easy one, isn't it? If you know the answer to that question, please make sure you jump onto the official Facebook page of Parkview City Islamabad and Parkview City Lahore and put your question and answer down below.
Both of our panelists just pointing at each other and we're like, is it you? Is it you? Confusion.
Not me, because
but we cannot.
Yunus bhai ka 313 hai, I think, highest.
बस अभी हम अपने व्यूअर्स को हिंट्स भी दे रहे हैं साथ-साथ।
मैं भी तो बात कर सकता हूँ, मैं भी तो व्यूअर ही हूँ।
हमें चले हेल्प कर दे थोड़ी, अगर आपके पास
मुझे लगता है कि यूनुस भाई और अजहर अली के अंदर
यूनुस और अजहर अली के अंदर टाई हो सकता है। अगला जो सवाल है वो खैर टेस्ट क्रिकेट का नहीं है, वो T20 के ऊपर है। Which player has played the most matches in T20 World Cups? This is our J. Junaid Jamshed question of the day. अगर आपको इस सवाल का जवाब आता है जी, आपकी स्क्रीन पे फोन नंबर आ रहा है, इस पे कॉल करें and you might be able to win a perfume by J.
And but wait, that's not all. We have one more, of course. It's our win predictor, thanks to our friends at Blue World City. It's a very simple question. Who's going to win today? Are you Team England or are you Team South Africa? Predict your winner on the Blue World City Islamabad Facebook page, and you could get yourself even more prizes. I mean, I think we should ask our experts as well for their predictions. Can't leave it all up to the fans at home.
And also,
gentlemen,
first inning score bhi bata dein.
South Africa posting 202.
Ooh.
Winning by like under 5 runs, maybe 3, 4.
Oh, another close one for South Africa.
Yeah. Okay. Hafiz bhai?
175 runs and England winning the game.
Ooh.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
We have
okay.
a tiebreaker.
6, 7, 5, 4.
I don't care how they win it, but I want them
But
to
they're
As long
winning.
as they win.
They're
gonna win
winning.
this.
I think I'll go with South Africa posting 186 on the board
186.
and England winning.
One-
England will chase it down.
168. I think England are going to get something out of this early morning conditions today.
Yeah.
And I think England are going to chase it down in 18 overs.
Mm.
There, I said it.
Winning by
Specific.
7 wickets.
Sure.
Yeah.
That
You
sounds
must be the
good.
first supporter from Australia supporting England.
I know it feels bizarre, but I'm going with my head. I want to keep this good roll I've been on going well. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank you.
gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure having your company. Been fun, hasn't it?
Yeah, time for all the live action now.
Absolutely, guys. We'll see you all on just the other side. This has been HMR Waterfront presents Game on Hair. We'll see you all straight after the match happens for our post-match show. But till then, enjoy. Action starts now.